Alrighty, welcome Saturday morning breakfast. We've got a bit of a special build day with you. It's me, Andrew from CheepJokes, and we've got Richard from the Rambling Brick. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you today?
Going well. We're up nice and early
Fantastic.
to get into this unboxing and build video. So I got these yesterday. So LEGO sent me these for review, which was pretty exciting. So I can't get all of them in shot, but I'll move them side to side here. So the new brick sketches, and these were designed by Chris McVeigh, which is a former LEGO photographer. I guess he might still do it. He might be too busy with work now, but he's a LEGO photographer who has ended up working for LEGO as a designer, which is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
There you go.
I was going to say I met Chris briefly last year when I was in Billund, and he was still in the process of there for the fan media days, and he'd been doing some work with New Elementary, and we caught up with the team from New Elementary and Chris at the Billund Steak and Pizza House.
Oh, fantastic!
Where he was still getting on board and hadn't undergone his media training, so we were required to keep it very civil and polite with the questioning.
Oh, I love that.
Like,
so,
how are you?
Oh, really?
He arrived about 3 weeks earlier.
Right. So they can't actually, they actually go through to the media training, the designers, before they are allowed to talk to people.
Generally, yes. The fan media, they're generally a bit easier than the mainstream media, because we're running the recognised fan media are running with a set of rules, so we know what we're not really allowed to ask, and after a while they become very good at saying, I'm not really able to tell you that. But, at that stage he was very, very excited about having arrived in Billund, he'd gone through the whole standard design application process that all the designers go through as far as submitting a portfolio and the like, and they gave him a job, so he moved from Canada over to Denmark.
Wow, that's it's pretty cool. I mean, he's very lucky, living the dream. Yeah. He's very lucky to have got that. Good on him. All right, well, let's get into this. So grab your coffees and sit back and enjoy myself and Richard talk about these brand new sets. So there are 4 of them. So we'll start off with BB-8. So yeah, I mean, they all look like they've got pretty generic, basic pieces in there, but I mean, they're a licensed product. That's kind of cool. Chris McVeigh gets a licensed product cool. First time.
Yep. That's very cool.
Yeah. So we've got BB-8. There is a Stormtrooper. There is Batman and the Joker. I'm kind of feeling like building the Joker. What do you reckon?
Okay, let's build the Joker.
Let's build the Joker.
Well, you build the Joker, and I'll put in the punctuation.
Yeah, that sounds good. And Richard's going to be monitoring the comments for us. So if you want to say hi, jump in the comments and say good morning. Wade, jumping on nice and early. First question, if you just want to click on Wade's name there, Richard, it should pop up on the screen for us. And everyone can see his question. So Wade wants to know, do we know the Australian retail price? Richard, are you familiar with it at all?
At this stage, I'm not certain, but I've put some feelers out, and I'll see if we can find anything out.
Feeling it was in the $30 range, which I'm not too sure how many pieces we get. We'll have a look through and have an estimate at the end. I don't think it tells you on the box how many pieces you get, but yeah, anyway, we'll start building and we'll find out. So we'll do the Joker one. I think they're about $30. Yeah, let's get started. I was going to bring a knife in so I could cut this open and not ruin the box, but here we are. What am I going to do with the box, you know? Are you a box keeper, Richard?
I'm a box hoarder.
Are you?
Yes. So what happens is I keep the boxes, and then about every 5 years I have a box purge. I think I'm about due for one now. It's been about 4 years since I got rid of a Creator Expert box, so it might be about time to do that sometime soon.
Right. All right. So 3 bags, not numbered, because it's I guess it's not that huge of a set. Where am I going to? I'm going to put the Joker up there just so people can see what we're working with here. put him in the corner there. That looks pretty neato. Oh, is he just out of shot? There we are. So 4 bags, small parts, medium parts, a little bit larger medium parts, and then the large parts here. So I'm going to open those first. Is the noise of the bags not too annoying?
Not too annoying.
Not too annoying.
So we've got first 4 bags. Oh, there we are.
Exciting. So inside the booklet, it gives you a bit of a bio on the designer, which is Chris McVeigh, who we were just talking about. I mean, I could read it out for us if we want. Are you interested in it?
Oh, look, I'm interested, but we can. Why don't we get? I think let's get straight onto the build, though.
Let's get straight onto the build. All right. Let me get my pieces out. I'll put my.
We can come back and read the bio afterwards.
Yeah, sounds good. Just remind me.
Unless you've left an important statement there, like before you start, make sure that you.
Before you start, make sure you take the pieces out of the bag. It's a bit difficult with them in the bag to actually build it. All right, let's get started. All right. So I don't know how do we do this? I'm concentrating on building now, so all the talking's on the rambling brick.
Well, I'll keep doing the talking, and I'm going between talking and looking at what you're up to there. So it looks like we're starting off with the main ground for the portrait. Looks like we've got a collection of 4 by 12 bricks. Is this the sort of detail we want to go to? And we're going to start by laying out the bricks for the Joker's hair, which looks like it is in bright yellowish green. We've got some 2 by 2 wedge plates. We've got a couple of 1 by 4 tiles, and then we've got a few offset plates. Looks like we've placed 4 of them to start with on the outer sides. I do like the way that we've got those wedge plates on different angles in order to sort of convey the lack of symmetry that you might have with your actual hairstyle. That's fantastic. Continuing down to build the
for people missing sports, this is fantastic.
This is in fact something that we have been missing out on in the last few weeks. So we're just continuing down using tiles to buttress the or basically the side of the hairstyle, but also to hold together the 4 by 12 brick plates that do make up the main.
Oh.
Are they 12 or are they 16? Looks like.
Oh, I'm a terrible builder. I'm so bad at following. Oh, I'm bad at. I can't mock, and I'm even worse at following instructions because I'll end up with quite major parts left over at the end of a Lego build.
Oh yes, so and I haven't had too many of the 2 by 4 tiles in bright yellowish green. This is certainly, you know, in the lime green. This looks like a fairly good parts pack for things from that point of view.
To people who are into parts pack, I guess buying a licensed product is really just increasing your cost per piece by what, 20% or something, isn't it? It kind of not the best 20%. Option for a parts pack.
Often not, but it all depends on how the prices are on the secondary market anyway. And in the absence of non-licensed products producing or having those parts using them significantly, then I mean, lime green's featured quite significantly around Friends over the years.
Yeah.
But I am wondering if that 2 by 2 wedge has been around significantly in green previously. But now we're continuing. It looks like we're onto the back of the. We're going to be doing a little bit of layering to give our portrait a three-dimensional feel, because we've got some fairly. We've got some very other colours going in now. What's that? That looks like bright yellowish orange. And some the 2 long bright yellow plates. And I'm wondering if those blue ones that you've placed there, if they're going to go on to form the pupils at some point in time. But I'm just speculating.
They might be a bit low for the pupil, I dare say.
Actually, yes. No, you're right. They will be a bit low for the pupil. So we'll be coming to that. And now, while it's been framed in the bright yellowish green, we've now got some regular green.
So this is the hair that's going to be hanging out the top. So you can see this green piece, bit of a spike there, hanging out above the frame of the
breaking the frame. That's it's extended beyond its boundaries. I'm not sure how I feel about that at this point in time, Andrew.
Right, yeah. It's really giving a three-dimensional aspect to the Lego.
Who'd have thought that a three-dimensional product would make a three-dimensional portrait? There we are.
Here we are.
And
let me know if I go out of frame as well here. Just,
yep, no, look, your hands are sometimes going out of frame, but I figure that that's probably okay.
Pieces. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be quite a quick build. Might be able to get all four of them done. Just kidding, maybe.
We may well. Well, it's, it'll be interesting to see if the things that they feature in common. So we've got the outer aspects of the Joker's hair in green here, and yeah, I think that one goes there, and the other one goes on the other side. So we've got some green wings. So I know that green wedge plates have been around for a while.
These are coming in. These are coming in quite handy these days, aren't they?
They are, and I was quite impressed. I put the Fiat together this week, and I was really impressed at how the use of those curved elements, both the quarter circle tiles, and 1x1 round bricks, allowed some very sneaky triangles that would otherwise not really work to help get some of the angles on the Fiat. So it's quite useful to bear in mind if you are mocking that you can use those sort of cut off tiles as places where you can put errant corners of long plates, or if you've got a plate on an angle, you can sometimes tuck the corner into that little void that's left by there. Now it looks like we're coming down with a bit more of a fringe here now, and
we're shaping his face.
Looks like we're probably going to be putting his face over the top of that to a certain extent as well. I am wondering, I'm intrigued to see how now we've got some of that classic pasty flesh, that skin that sort of arrived after the Joker had that rather unpleasant incident at the Ace Chemical Factory. And
the Joker's poor pasty face.
The Joker's poor pasty face. And I'm just going to switch cameras here. Oh, there we are.
Quite bright yellow pieces going in here. I'm guessing this is going to be the eye line.
That looks like that'll probably be his eyes there.
I do notice the symmetry of the build where if you're an artist and you're drawing a character, the eye line is actually in the middle of the page, right? Like that's what they aim for.
Halfway down the face. Or halfway down the head, rather.
So that's all checking out as correct. Well done, McVeigh. McVeigh portrays the symmetry correctly. Oh, so here we go. This is an interesting sort of attachment. It's using the yellow quarter slope there. I don't know what you call them.
We call them 1x1 quarter circle tiles, and that's a beautiful demonstration of the technique that I was just talking about before, where you are able to tuck the tile into the void left with those cut-off tiles.
Yeah,
I had no idea that was coming.
Create the direction, yeah.
Allows you to go off
the... So I read your review during the week, Richard, your Fiat review. It was quite good, but it did leave me wanting a holiday, which I did not like, considering the current situation.
Well, the whole reason that the Fiat review got written the way that it did, and that can be found on ramblingbrick.com, basically, last week I was supposed to be on holiday in Italy with my wife. It was going to be our first holiday away for a few years, and we weren't able to go travelling. So life's like that. But so we did a holiday with the Fiat and some very bad Photoshop at selected tourist locations around northern Italy.
You got the holiday you always wanted.
Not quite the holiday that we wanted, but with the slowdown in work, there's been a little bit of had a bit of a chance to do that mental regroup that you normally rely on having a holiday to do. Now, what have we got there? Are they
a new piece? Eyeball piece?
Eyeball with round? Is that with a round pupil?
It is.
And is that a tile or is it a?
Yeah,
round
so it's
tile,
just a round 1x1 flat round tile situation. Oh no, now this is the hard part. I don't want his eyes to be wonky because it's going to give him a whole weird emotion. You have a lazy eye.
Well, I mean, the Joker is really full of weird emotion.
He is. So however you lay the eyes could actually be suitable.
Absolutely. So in fact, there's some scope for customization there.
Yeah, for people at my skill level, they'll be able to customize quite easily, which is good to know. So yeah, it looks like we're kind of down shaping his mouth and chin at this point. Richard, if you'd like, I'll drop a couple of these off to you to review if you like.
Oh, look, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I'll chat with you afterwards and we'll try and figure out a time.
That'd be terrific.
Now, what's going on here? Where am I? Okay.
Well, for some reason, I've got someone asking me on Instagram how they can comment. So how can people comment if they wish to leave a comment on YouTube or Facebook, Andrew? Is it just typing into the band below, into the line below the video?
Yeah, so just in the normal comment section of the video. So if you're watching it live on YouTube or Facebook, you just comment as per normal and it should be pulling through.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've had a comment from the Adventures of Little Amy that she's enjoying the live build.
Oh, excellent. Thanks for joining us, Little Amy. Regular viewer of toy photography and a toy photographer herself.
Now looks like we're getting a little bit of structure into the cheeks here, and we've got a
three of the
collection of 2x2 wedge plates.
Yeah, building
in white. Whoops. And I was wondering if I think they've been around for a bit. Yes, I'm just looking in my. For some reason, I have my wedge plates just beside me, and plainly, it's certainly not a brand new element in that color, but
no. Here we go, shaping the chin here with some. There is some snot. I thought there wouldn't be many snot opportunities in these, but there is one snot.
So that's using just a bracket, a 1x2 bracket to put that curved brick in. Is that right?
Just creating his chin there.
Yeah.
Now we're just working on his collar and his clothing here. So a couple of cheese slopes for his bow tie at the very base of the frame. I imagine these will be really nice dust collectors for the shelf. Which is always a big feature for anything Lego like this that you're going to put on display. So we're on to the back now. It looks like we're getting into some frame details before we finish off the face. It's very exciting, very exciting. Oh, wow. I think this actually has opportunity for a hook.
Excellent. So it looks like there may be a couple of opportunities. It looks like you've got some click hinges that are going there, as well as the 2x2 with the hole on the end. And so that's.
Oh, now we've got some advanced stuff going on.
Oh, Technic.
Technic. I didn't expect to be doing Technic today. This is throwing me off.
Okay, so it looks like we've got some macaroni tubes in white. And
is that what everyone calls them? I love that.
Yeah, something to do with the way they're shaped like macaroni.
Yep.
And
good call.
How long? Now I can't quite see the number next to the 1-to-1 in the instructions. How long are those grey axles?
11. It's an 11.
11. Fantastic. So there's some 11 long axles, and they clip in there.
And more for the wall weight, yeah. So hang on, let me just finish the frame.
This looks like this gives it a desktop option as well. If you just want to have a portrait of the Joker staring at you from your workspace.
I think so. Yeah, I think Lego has just cut in on the IKEA market here, and have created a versatile frame. So I think using this frame as a base, I think it's opened up opportunities for people to now create their own desk artwork, maybe you know, their sig fig as a portrait.
Or indeed, you could use it to
come on, get in.
Mount a collection of your favorite minifigures. That's quite clever.
Oh, yeah, good idea. Yeah, you could definitely mount the base plates in there or some snots to create a little minifig stand. And the stand's made with parts that you should probably easily have accessible.
And if you don't have exactly those parts, I'm sure you've got some parts that will allow you to improvise.
Not that you can see it from that top angle, but you can see that it's sitting on the desk there. Let me do a bit of a tilt down. There you go.
Now he looks like he's got a touch of the Voldemorts going on at the moment with the completely absent nose.
Yeah, sorry, I flipped over too early. I've got to finish securing.
So we've got some 2x2 boat, sort of those inverse round tiles that allow you to
holding stuff.
used for holding things together on the bottom, but also to allow you to sort of glide your Joker portrait across the desktop. What?
That's right.
Beg your pardon, that was slightly surreal. Now that's a very sinister looking brow.
Yeah, now some 2x3 flatties. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, 2x3 flatties.
2x3 tiles, yep. In white.
It's quite low, sitting across his brow there. So it's
well, it's designed. Looks like it's trying to make him look a bit grumpy.
Yeah, very grumpy. It's working. What's this we're working on? Oh, this is the mouth. Okay. Then we've got some schnot here to get it in. Where are you? There we are.
I was going to say you've got some snot. Are you working on the nose?
I am working on the nose. So
I beg your pardon.
That bit going in there. So he's got a bit of a grill. Bit of
yep.
What's his name? The Joker from Suicide Squad Joker.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. It's a bit of a Jared Leto with the grill. Being the mouth grill, like the cool people say. There we are. Just getting a bit of nose action.
So with that, we've got a couple of those wedge plates, and then building up some corners to the lips there with some more quarter circle tiles.
Yeah.
And
this yellow, this is like a really almost like a pastel yellow. Is this very common, or is it more in dots and whatnot?
Well, it was not very common until they released a Fear earlier this year, which introduced about that literally doubled the number of elements that were available in bright light yellow overnight.
And that's actually called it's hard to show you on here, but the lower jaw is it's like 0.5 millimeter in from the top.
So
jaw. Yeah, so it's actually creating a bit of depth.
A half plate offset.
Yeah, that's it. Well done on knowing terminology things.
So this is where I'm reminded of some trivia, because as we know, Mark Hamill voiced the Joker in the Batman animated series in the mid-90s through to the early 2000s, and Mark Hamill in fact married his dental hygienist at one point, according to some of the Star Wars fan literature that was available back in the day.
Yeah.
That date was probably about 1983, 84 or so. And just something I remember reading back then. But thinking of the colour of those teeth there, those are sinister eyebrows. A
couple of options with the eyebrows. You can go
or you can those are the really long.
Let's see if I can flip it over and we'll have him looking a bit more. Motion this one creates. I busted it. Broke the Joker. Here we go. There we are, a bit more suave. Oh, hello. How do you like that one? I think I might keep it like that. I kind of like it. We could go one of each. I think the most fun of this build is changing the emotion with the eyebrows.
Now, a comment that's...
Wink, wink. Oh, yeah, I'll just put my headset for a lot. Sorry, go on.
A comment that has appeared next from Jason DeVries in New Zealand, saying that, while not necessarily being something that he'd be keen to buy, he does love the hope that it gives the AFOL community that if you get picked to work for LEGO, that your project one day may well become a set.
Yeah, if you've created something out of your own personal doing, it could become a reality if you're good enough to make it through the doors. Where was that comment on? Because I'm not seeing it on Facebook or anything.
That's because it was made where I had shared. I'd shared the link on my personal timeline, and someone commented there.
Excellent. So that's it. So how long was that? It was like a 20-minute build.
Like it doesn't. It was a 20-minute build, so that's a nice, fairly quick build. There's some interesting techniques in there, certainly from the point of view of the use of the snot and just the conceptual building up. We do see. I do like the way that those teeth have got that half. Could you just show us the teeth from the side, please? Yeah, like that. That's fantastic. So that little bit of offset there is really clever. I really like what he's done there. That's some really cool parts usage. I do like the new eye tile. I think it's new, but it may have been around for a while.
Yeah, and then obviously having the desk option here as well, where you can sit it up quite nicely.
That's just a fantastic way to creep out your work colleagues, I suspect.
Hi, Mum. Mum's watching.
Hi, Andrew's mum.
Yeah, it's quite good. 20-minute build. Right. I don't know how many pieces that was, but nice and easy. And then for those who do buy it, I'll let them read Chris McVeigh's bio on the inside. That's a special treat for those who end up with the set. But cool little Joker build. And as we said, there are 4 of them. So you've got Batman, Stormtrooper, and BB-8. So lots of building fun for those at home.
So did you want to build another one, Andrew?
Did you? I mean, we're only 27 minutes in. Do you feel like doing another one?
I'm very happy to talk through another one if you're happy to build another one. What do people feel like?
Cool. So we've done DC. So how about we go between a Star Wars?
Okay. So would people like to just quickly comment on either Stormtrooper or B8? You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm just going to quickly toss a coin, and that's come down as head. So we're going to build one that's predominantly a head. So it's a Stormtrooper. Fantastic.
I was hoping to be in Stormtrooper. I kind of was pushing towards that. All right. I want to try rip the stickers this time. All right. I'll just do it. I'll just rip it.
Now, Andrew, can you tell me what the code is on the stickers?
Oh, yeah. There's none. Oh, here. 1700. What does it mean?
1700. That's okay. So week 17, factory O, and is it 00 or is it an O?
Okay. 17 O for orange, 0.
Okay, so that will be this was boxed in week 17 at factory O, and I'll just need to remember shortly exactly where that one is in 2020.
Oh, only 2 bags for this one. 3 bags.
Only 2 bags. That's fewer bags to open up.
Fewer bags.
And it looks like there's, oddly enough, when you're building a Stormtrooper, it looks like there's quite a lot of white involved here. So this is going
white,
to be a
red,
great
and we've got a couple of teal going on here as well.
Oh, that's a great opportunity just to introduce those into the palette. There aren't too many of those around.
There's too many of those in storage.
Oh. No. Well, they only reinvigorated teal 2 years ago, and so they're still building up the the palettes. So sometimes when they've got parts that are going to be not critical for the use in the actual final appearance of the model itself, they might use some of these pieces in relatively uncommon colors to increase the palette and to provide a few more options around. And then sometimes, the other thing is, because it does distinguish quite well from every other color in the build, it will be quite easy to find as part of the building process. It won't be just another white or grey brick. It just introduces a little bit of interest for you.
So it looks like there is more reasons than just being a cost-saving situation for the brand.
No, absolutely no. So, say teal had been away for a while and came back in 2018. Technically, I think it's medium bluish green,
right?
As opposed to the azures, which are a greenish blue. And
your knowledge is always amazing. I don't know if you're telling the truth or not, but it sounds good.
Oh, look, it's actually it was a very well. We could talk while we're doing this about the way in which teal vanished from the palette back in the early days, and whether it's an entirely true story or whether it's just become apocryphal over the years.
All right, well, what's the full story?
Mark Stafford, who is one of the senior designers at LEGO, and he'd arrived via the fan community in the early 2000s, and he was working on the Exoforce line. And one of the sets that he was building was it was one of the bad guy robot mechs, and it was sort of a panther-shaped thing, and he was given the option to make it to have it made either in purple, teal, or red.
Oh.
The problem the challenge that he then had to deal with was that whichever colors didn't get used was going to be removed from the palette.
Oh.
And so he opted to make it with purple. Or the decision was made to make it, release it, so in medium lilac, the purple that we now associate perhaps with Joker's hat, with the night bus from Harry Potter. And so the concept of Mark Stafford killing teal entered the community legend base, and it must have been a pretty challenging decision to have to make as a young designer to
kill a color.
To kill a color off.
People are going to be upset by,
But the color had originally been introduced in Rock Raiders in 1999, which was 99, 98, came up against sort of around about the same time as LEGO Star Wars, so it must have been 99. It was fairly prominent also in Life on Mars and a couple of those space themes from around the turn of the century. And then after the use, that particular set, Exoforce, was released, it just quietly vanished for a while. And then I think we first saw it appear as a cloth piece and some printing in Friends, and then it made its way back into actual parts in 2018.
I guess that's been the good things that's come out of Friends. Not that anything bad's come out of Friends, but all the color options for those parts collectors to get some more variety in their palette.
Absolutely, and look, we've seen at least. So when Friends was opened up, we saw 6 new colors introduced, and some of those sort of came out as printing rather than as actual elements in the first year, but then they've also rolled out, and then this is coming a little bit more. Now, just stop there for a second, Andrew.
Sure.
Have a look at that silhouette.
Oh, yeah, I'm just like so focused on the instructions, I'm not enjoying this. Like, yeah, it's I think I see what's going on.
That just looks like Darth Vader. If that was white, I mean, well, if it was black.
Says Disney, doesn't it?
Well, I was just thinking it says Star Wars, but
yeah, that's what I meant. It says Disney.
So we've got some 4x4 curved tiles in white, and
so on Friends though, let me just jump back. I am chatting to senior designer, creator of a lot of the Friends sets tomorrow night, Amy Corbett, who people may know better from LEGO Masters US. So catching up with Amy tomorrow night, and we're going to be discussing all things LEGO Masters. So she's just finished watching the Australian series.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be interesting to get her opinions on our series, our contestants, their builds, and how she feels the US compares to essentially the rest of the world. Everywhere else in the world seems to be following our format, where the US has gone off on their own little tangent.
And I notice also that the Belgium-Netherlands LEGO Masters final is being broadcast this evening.
Is it? I've got to catch up on that.
In Netherlands time, that's looking more and more like Darth Vader. Do you think we've been trolled here, and it's not actually going to be at all?
They've given us a future model. Good discussion though. Like, will this be quite an ongoing series for McVeigh? Will there be a lot more of these coming out? You would assume.
Well, you wonder. I mean, the Brickheads came out as a project from one of the graphic designers within the company. It was sort of and then they just got embraced and ran with by everyone. This Stormtrooper is looking more and more like Darth Vader with every brick you put down.
Yeah, look, I feel like if we just change the color of the bricks, it wouldn't be too far off. Oh, I can't find a piece.
What are you looking for?
Here it is, the 2x4 flat.
It's just there in your hand.
How often do you get your friends who have been in self-isolation, discovered their passion for Lego again? They'll be building their first set, and you'll get a phone call. What do I do if there's a piece missing? What do you usually answer? I
answer first. I'll generally say have a look back in the corner of every plastic bag, because that's where I leave most of my elements that I don't find in the first place. Now, often when I'm building, I'll empty my bags into plates. So the next most common thing that happens is that
into dining plates.
Yeah, and so the next thing I do is I'll start looking underneath the rims of the plate, because that's where the other parts have fallen. And from there, sometimes the next place to look is at the instruction book and make sure that I'm looking for a piece of the correct color. And if it's grey or is it sand green, and did I put a piece of the other color in the wrong place several steps back? And I really hate it when I do that, especially if it's a big build and it was half an hour ago. And
I find, I'll get so many messages from people. Hey, what do I do if it's missing a piece? It's like, check the bottom of the bag, and then the next message is, never mind.
But the other thing that I'd say is it happens to all of us.
Happens to all of us. I did it just yesterday.
I did it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's very easy. 3 days ago.
I've tried to get more. I tried to get cleaner with when I empty the bags out, just to give that check to save me going through this roller coaster. But it still happens.
Yeah, it's always awkward when you get the colours mixed up. That's right, Emma.
I've started doing it with. I do that mixed colours. I've started doing it with pasta as well now. When I finish off the bag of pasta, I'll just give it an extra shake, have a look in there, make sure there's none left over. I don't want my bolognese to be incomplete.
And then the really awkward part is once you've finished cooking it, you then lift your bowl off the table, off the kitchen bench to go to eat it at the table. And
what's underneath?
What's underneath? Another piece of pasta.
Another piece. Oh, no, another piece. A piece is missing. Piece is missing. Oh, no, here we are. Looks like we're doing some bit of eye line here for Mr. Trooper now. That's what they call him, right? Mr. Trooper.
Mr. Storm, yes. And Franco was telling us that he's had an actual missing piece. An actual missing piece. I've had a broken piece, and they're very good. One thing I will say is that if you do have a missing piece, Lego will send it back to you. But the other thing that they do take record of what you're missing, and if you're missing, if you're repeatedly missing things like rare parts of Star Wars minifigures, for example, after a while you may find that the actual quality of the customer service and replacing those parts may not be as
up to the previous standard,
freely coming as they were otherwise.
Yes, I can imagine. If they're regularly hearing from certain people, I imagine. What am I doing here? Okay, yeah. Oh, I forgot to grab that piece. Showing my ability once again.
So what have you got going there, Andrew? That looks like
this is his little grill. His I see. So McVeigh has, you've got one of these what would you call that?
The hinge, the lateral hinge, yep.
Which is locked in by a wedge here and a stud here, so it hasn't got much movement. So then when this goes on, you don't have much choice for an angle. It's very smart.
Excellent.
He's onto it. He knows what he's doing.
So Emma's arrived late and is wondering what we're building. Emma, today we are building a couple of the brick sketch sets, which CheepJokes have been sent by Lego. So this stage we're aware of there being 4. There are 2 Star Wars Stormtrooper and BB-8. We've already built the Joker, and there is also Batman. I've seen the Batman one on Brickset earlier in the week, but it looks like it's an even more impressive box. And that one looks like a great source of plan of what do we call those things? Tan plates. And this looks like a couple of tan plates in here as
tan plates hard to come by.
And hi there, Kristen. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Kristen.
Not really, but tan plates are really good if you're into building landscape, or indeed if you're in the absence of nougat as a colour.
Nougat. Expensive purchase just to buy this set for nougat.
You wouldn't. We don't. There is no nougat in this one, and that's.
Oh, what are we calling it? Sand.
One of the things, no, this is yes, this is sand yellow or tan. One of the things that's frustrating to a lot of people who are interested in the idea of building characters is that, on the whole, unless you are one of the certified model builders or working in the Legoland parks, the flesh-coloured elements, what they refer to as Q elements, and they're not available. They're not freely available to regular consumers in sets. So.
Yeah, we're just finishing the shaping of his face, and we're almost done on this one.
That's just that last little bit's come together really quickly.
10 minutes, that one.
Where
I think it was a little bit less detailing. He was a very flat build compared to the Joker, who had a bit more snot going on. It was quite easy. I think the red background's important with this one. Otherwise, it'd look a bit plain on the shelf. But it kind of helps bring it out a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. Now, Andrew Kristen's just asking if you've got a favourite of these builds so far.
I think the Joker is winning.
I think the Joker is.
I like the options of emotion with the eyebrows. It comes with 3 different emotions, basically. Surprise, anger, and curiosity.
Indeed, and then you could also do the shifty eye-looking thing if you rotate the pupils around.
Oh yeah, could let's see if I can get my fingers in there. We could so I'd have to remove the plates to get in there. I think we could see if we can twist them a little bit. Have him looking off to the side. It's important to obviously line them up evenly so it doesn't look like it's got wonky. Yeah, like that. A little bit shifty. So yeah, I think the Joker, just due to, I guess, it's a bit more color appealing.
Now, Andrew,
fun.
Now, what's the set number on the Joker? Could you just confirm that for me, please?
Sure, it is 40428.
40428.
Yes, sir.
Okie dokie. Sorry, if you just hold that back up to the screen, that'd be to the camera, because I'm just
making note of this.
Well,
are you screenshotting? I can send you some nice photos if you like.
That's fine. In fact, what I'm doing is I'm sending it to a retailer who's just currently checking his price list, so that'll also give us an idea as to whether or not they're actually going to be available for general, whether they're going to be available outside of the LEGO retailers.
Yeah, right. I imagine they'd end up everywhere. Like I feel they're going to be the new Brickheads sort of thing, that easy gift purchase.
So what I can tell you is that they weren't available for general retail distribution in the second half of, or for independent retailers weren't able to place orders for these in the second half year. So probably going to be
is there a once off or a once a year?
Yeah, there may, otherwise there may be something, maybe August, but at this point in time, there's certainly haven't appeared on lego.com for the June releases, and they haven't appeared on lego.com for the June releases, and so it looks like they weren't necessarily available for most retailers to order. It may be that they've relatively recently become available, given normally you've got most sets have lead times of a year or two, and as I say, Chris McVeigh has literally only been with
LEGO.
With LEGO now for just on 12, well, let's say literally 12 months this week. So
yeah, right.
So to see that new theme developed over that time, I dare say, that's actually fairly impressive.
Yeah, it's carried on to it, I guess. Like maybe, we came in with the idea and they said, yeah, easy first project. It's something he's familiar with. Getting the approval on the licensing could have been a bit of a struggle, considering it's, somewhat generic parts. There's no minifig. But then that could have also been an easier decision for the licensing people to let it through. But it does add that extra, cost per piece, I guess, for a collector, when you're not really getting any special parts. But
it'll be interesting just to go over the inventory with a fine-tooth comb and see if there are any particularly new parts there. The Joker certainly had a few more interesting building techniques, but also the way that we've got those angles going off the grid with the side of the Stormtrooper's helmet, as well as sort of the Joker's ears. I thought they were very clever as far as demonstrations of the techniques used there.
That's good. All right. Well, maybe we'll wrap it up there, Richard. I'll let you get back to your day. I know you got a yoga this afternoon or this morning, so I don't want to hold you up.
Oh, yep. Look, we've got a bit of a need for a bit of a stretch going on, so we'll catch up later. But this has been it's been great to see these two sets come together, and I think it's really interesting. There's a whole lot of great stuff has hit the shelves. All the new creator sets and a lot of the Friends and City and also the new dots seem to be around this weekend already. Technically, June 1st release. But,
fantastic. And yeah, stay tuned. As I said, I'm talking to Brickmaster Amy Corbett from Denmark tomorrow night. We're going to be talking all things Lego Masters International, I guess. So we'll talk about the US and Australian. Might try to touch myself up on the Belgian one this afternoon so I can discuss that with her as well. But yeah, so that's going to be an exciting chat for some Sunday night viewing. So make sure you swing by.
I'll swing by then.
Excellent. Nice to see you, Richard.
Likewise, Andrew. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty. Oh, you've left.